Well, I've taken the opportunity to come out in the Mazda and come on some of the twisties near Birmingham up to the usual place where I come, where this silent tree is watching on a kind of a headland, looking out away from the city. And it's quiet at this time of night, or at this time of the evening. I'm not sure what time it is, but I suppose it would be about maybe 7 o'clock, could it be? And it's very enjoyable driving that car, I must say. I'm getting more and more used to it. And one of the reasons I came up here really was just to drive at a time when there wouldn't be too much traffic on the road, and it was a good plan. And I stopped off in the pub and had a bite to eat, and I had a most interesting conversation with a young lady there who was what you would probably call an alcoholic. She'd staggered up to the pub outside, and she asked me if I thought they would let her use the toilet, and that could have been a ploy or something. So I gave her a fiver. I said, buy yourself a drink. And she thanked me, and we chatted a little bit, and then she told me that she had urgent diarrhea and had to go, which is kind of a bit too much information. But she did come back after a while, and we had an interesting chat, and she was obviously in a bit of a state and living a little bit on the edge, probably, drinking cider and just, letting it all go to ruin, I suppose. She was trying to convince herself that everything was going well, but she was always referring to third parties that I don't know, and also using some very offensive words to describe people again that I don't know, and explaining how now everything was sorted out, and she just wanted everybody to understand how badly treated she'd been, and all this. And there was no stopping her, you see. And I'd already come to the conclusion, you see, if a man doesn't tell a woman what to do, she's got no idea. That's the problem with the situation at the moment. I mean, most of the time, I understand that, women might be upset to hear that. But most of the time, if a woman's not grounded in a man, then she's just spinning around aimlessly, almost. Women need to be guided and given clear instructions. And of course, this hasn't happened because they think they don't need them. And we have neglected our duties because of their attitude and because of our own waywardness, I suppose. But this will change now. And so I gave this young lady some money, but obviously she was in need of it. And but mainly to secure her attention. This is what I wanted to do. And so I paid for it. And then I said, look, I've given you such and such. Will you do me a favor? And it was very difficult to get her to agree, but eventually she did see the point that she would indeed do me a favor. And I said, I just want you to shut up for 5 minutes and listen to what I'm going to tell you. And that got her attention. And I told her to stop drinking cider and to switch to vodka and to eat meat. I told her there was nothing wrong with her, and I told her basically to get a grip, and that her life started now, and it didn't matter everything that she was talking about, because that was in the past, whatever happened. I think she was a little bit shocked, but she stayed with me, and she thanked me actually for it after a little while, and I enjoyed talking to her. She was rather an attractive young lady, actually. She would have been if she hadn't been so haggard, I suppose, because of her lifestyle. But I'm sure she'd brush up beautifully, She looked, a little bit unkempt, but not too bad, I would say. And she had a very aggressive stance, and it was just show. You could see it was just show. And so I began to understand this matter. Women, we need to lead women. They have got no flipping idea of what they're doing or why they're here or where they're going if they have no man to guide them and to show them. Now, that man could be their father, I understand that, or it could be their heavenly father. But really the main situation would be their husband. It would be a husband, a man to whom they commit and who will honor them, will love them. That's what women need. They need somewhere to plant their feet, and we can provide that for them. But to do it, we have to start telling them what to do. And strangely enough, women actually like being told what to do. I mean, I'm not suggesting, any kind of dictatorial regime, but they need to have a plan and a prospect and an idea, and they really have got no clue. Whereas we do. We can lay plans and choose a direction and follow it, and we know what to do. And I knew what she needed to do as well, which was basically to stop complaining and start looking after her health and getting on top of her alcoholism, which you can only do by accepting it, you see. This is the mistake that people make. They think they're going to beat an addiction. You can't beat an addiction by trying to push it down. You beat an addiction by understanding that you can't beat it alone. You're going to need help, and you're going to need some time. And also, the addiction is part of you to some extent. So you have to integrate it. You have to incorporate it in your life. God bless.